Anyone who has driven an old car knows the feeling of a wheel that pulls. You are cruising along, and the car drifts, gently and constantly toward the shoulder. Annoying, but you have a steering wheel, brakes, and an engine, so you compensate, and the car stays in its lane.
Now suppose the pull never stops. The question becomes practical. Can the other systems hold the lane forever?
Here's why that question matters outside of cars. The previous paper in this research line found something uncomfortable. The international rule that tells banks when to build rainy day money reads its trigger from a 20-year average of lending itself and a feedback loop. With a memory that long, turns self-amplifying when the thing it watches is stubbornly persistent. Lending is among the most persistent things in economics. One loop, miswired. One wheel with the pull.
But an economy is not one loop. And the obvious objection writes itself: surely the central bank, the budget offices, and the markets, the steering, the brakes, and the engine can compensate.
So researchers at The Lagging Truth built the whole car. 4 connected systems: the lending rule, the central bank steering by smoothed inflation, government budget steering by estimated output, and financial markets tightening and loosening with stress. Every part was set from real published data, and the full machine was assembled separately for 5 economies: the United States, the United Kingdom, Japan, the Euro area, and South Korea.
For a machine like this, mathematics offers a single verdict number, the amplification factor. Give the system a small shock and let all 4 loops respond once. Below 1, the shock comes back smaller, and repeated rounds grind it away. Above 1, it comes back larger, and rounds compound it. There is no middle.
The verdict came back above 1 in all 5 economies. And the mathematics also says where the drift lives. More than 99% of it loads onto the lending loop in every country. The steering, the brakes, and the engine are fine. The car drifts because of the one wheel, and everything else attached barely dilutes it. The margin is thin, an amplification factor of 1.01 grows slowly, which is exactly why nothing shows up in any quarterly report, and 2 supporting experiments came back mixed under their own pre-registered rules and are reported as mixed. Then the paper tries systematically to rescue the system without touching the miswired rule. Can the central bank offset it? The search pressed the monetary brake harder and harder against lending, out to 11 times the strongest push ever observed in the data. Nothing. The instability barely noticed. Do crises rewire things in our favor? The opposite. Crisis time connections shift the machine toward instability so it is least stable exactly when policy is pushing hardest. Is it just the wrong kind of lending? Mortgages, corporate debt, consumer credit, business loans, commercial real estate, every single component on its own is unstable under the 20-year rule. Swapping tires does not fix a bent axle. And then the paper turns on its own favorite tool, the natural repair. From this research line's own toolkit is the fast minus slow gap, quick to react, no long memory. Wired in alone, it stabilizes the lending loop. Wired into the whole car, it fails, in every country, across every setting tested. And instead of just reporting that failure, the paper proves it had to happen. Any instrument built purely from differences of averages has mathematically zero grip on the level of something with near-permanent memory. It is a smoke detector that responds only to changes in smoke, and a room already full of smoke registers no change. However sensitive you make it, it sleeps. The proof closes the most attractive door on the reform menu, and it is the door this research line itself built. What actually works is modest and priced. Shorten the rule's memory from 20 years to 5, and all 5 economies go stable. Or keep the change detector, but add a pinch of level awareness. 95 parts watching change, 5 parts watching where lending actually stands. 5 parts in 100, and every country's machine settles. One more result, and it reframes everything. Defenders of the official gauge have always held a strong card. It predicts crises well. The paper takes that seriously and runs a head-to-head race on roughly 150 years of data across 18 countries, the official gauge against this research line's own replacement. The official gauge wins, clearly. The paper's preferred instrument is the worst crisis sensor, and the paper says so in print. Which turns the whole debate into one sentence. The official gauge is the better thermometer and an unstable thermostat. Being the best measurement of danger and being a safe thing to wire to the control dial are different properties. So the answer was never to smash the thermometer, it is to take it off the furnace switch. The mechanism under all of this, lending stubbornness, makes 2 blunt bets, registered publicly before the fact. At the next American recession, the ratio of lending to national output rises after the economy peaks, because lending barely moves while output falls faster.
and total bank lending falls no more than 3% from its peak. In the last crisis, the one synonymous with the words credit crunch, it dipped less than 1/5 of 1%. Both bets wait on their trigger. If no recession is dated by the spring of 2031, they are recorded as untested rather than passed, and a miss goes to the public corrections log.
The paper is called The Compound Trap. It comes with a plain English companion written for humans, and both are free to read at The Lagging Truth.
So remember the car with the pole and where the drift turned out to live.
Measure with the best sensor. Act through a stable control law. Keep the thermometer and take it off the furnace switch.